Happy Monday, the 9th day of October 2017. This is Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. Thanks for starting your day. Thanks for starting your week with us here at the NCW Life Channel. I am Dan Kuntz, your host, back in the saddle again.
Thanks.
Steve Hare.
By the way, for giving me the opportunity to guest host for you Friday.
First time I've ever missed a show because I was ill. I was scheduled to be off sometimes, or sometimes I was simply on vacation. But on Friday, I got out of bed and I went, I ain't making it.
And you're sticking by that story?
Yeah.
Okay,
So,
I got you.
Got lots of sleep over the weekend. I think I nipped something in the bud, because I woke up Friday and I was not feeling well. It was
Right.
like, oh, the crud is here. I got the crud.
Seems to be going around. Right now.
Yeah, it's been going around the station a little bit. We've had some of our coworkers have missed an occasional day. I got up. I'm fine now.
Okay.
I feel great because I spent 3 days pretty much unconscious. Is what I did. But I feel so much better. Again, thank you for filling in for
It was a lot
me
of
on
fun.
Friday.
A lot of fun talking to our 12th District Representative and host of our new show.
Yes,
Terry
which
Condado.
debuts tomorrow, I believe.
Tomorrow,
I believe it.
8 o'clock tomorrow morning.
Yeah. So again, thank you for filling in. I know it's not easy to fill in at the last minute when I couldn't make it in. It's funny. I sent Caitlin, our producer, and you a text.
No, you sent it to her.
Well, no, I sent it to your home phone.
Oh, okay.
So that's why you didn't get it. It is the 9th day of October. It's Monday. Funny thing this morning, Steve, I got to start out with this little story. Normally, you and I and Caitlin get up very, very early because we have to. It's the nature of the beast when you do morning television. And normally, I'm watching 3 or 4 programs that I watch every morning to get into the news, to get into the weather, find out what's going on, feed the brain with information. And as soon as any of these stations and there's 3 of them that I flip-flop between like 4:15 and about 5:15. As soon as a commercial comes on, I go to the other channel, right? Well, this morning, for whatever reason, I didn't. I was working on something, and they went to a commercial, and guess what I noticed? The commercials that they air on television at 4:30 and 5:30 in the morning, mattresses and sleep aids. You notice that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's always, what's your sleep number? And does your husband snore? Put this thing on his nose and he won't snore anymore.
Or munchy food.
Yeah, or munchy food, exactly.
Munchy food, yeah.
It's funny how those advertisers know exactly who might be watching TV at 4:30 in the morning.
You see, I know Dan's viewing habits, and I just don't see the news value. You say you have 3 stations you watch.
Yeah.
Well, I don't see the news value in reruns of Andy Griffith.
Well, that's different. That's different. I love the Andy Griffith Show. I do. You're a big fan of it too.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
So, yes, the story of a sheriff and his deputy in a town with no crime. I mean, how good is that?
Good.
It is a beautiful, gorgeous, drop-dead, beautiful Monday. Good-looking week all week long, typical October weather. It was a beautiful weekend, all things considered. A little breezy, as they predicted.
Saturday.
On Saturday, it was a bit breezy. Yesterday was gorgeous. It was just beautiful.
We got some pictures, by the way. We're going to show you here in a few minutes. We have some excellent new drone footage of the Lake Chelan area we're going to share with you.
Looking forward to that. Yeah. In the meantime, we have all the usual shenanigans apply. Bunch of sports to get to. Nicely done, Seahawks. They played just a little bit better than the Rams.
Buckeyes just scored again, by the way.
Ohio State continues to win. Go Buckeyes. My Yankees won last night. We're still in the playoffs. Lots to get to. My guest, by the way, the second half of the show, Dave Peterson from Skill Source in Wenatchee. We'll talk about that. That'll be a great conversation with Dave. He's sitting by patiently in our green room. Outside of that, the usual shenanigans apply. Let's don't waste any time because we have, as you mentioned before, some beautiful shots from around the Wenatchee Valley from the Sky-Fi high-speed wireless network, our cameras there. That is, of course, don't tell me, we have to guess these. That is...
The Heights.
That's Wenatchee. Yes, that's the Wenatchee Valley. See, I guessed right off the top correctly. That is, of course, a beautiful view from the Wenatchee Heights. What's the early word on fall colors, Steve?
Well, they're vibrant right now. I think this is the perfect time to get out and see the fall colors. In fact, I posted a picture on our Facebook page.
Okay.
Shared with us from is it Scott Payton that does those beautiful shots? Great colors right now.
There's Wenatchee proper. Camera 2 will take us to, and again, Steve and I find out this together. That's Jump Off Ridge, obviously. Wouldn't you love to have a house there?
Oh, that's
of course,
nice.
It's a heck of a commute, but it would be great to have a house there. Beautiful.
It's a little windy up there.
Is it?
Not today.
Not today, of course. Yeah, it can get a little breezy up on Jump Off Ridge and on Wenatchee Heights, but not today. Beautiful day. Forecast details are coming up, by the way. Camera number 3 on this Monday morning will take us to
Lake Wenatchee.
Is that Lake? No, I don't think
No?
so. I think that's Lake Chelan. Caitlin, what are we looking at? We're looking
Manson,
at Manson.
okay.
See, there you go. That's the Manson camera. Sun just coming up. Again, we're losing about 2 minutes of daylight a day, Steve, as we get deeper and deeper in October. And camera number 4 in our tour around north central Washington, that is Dines or Monitor? I'm saying Monitor. Yep, it's Monitor.
Looking at that snow up there on the tops of the Cascades, Mount Stewart there in the background, I think our forecast is calling for a chance of some snow, maybe about midweek.
Yeah, way up there.
No, 3,000 feet.
Oh, I better
what
go
they're
look at
saying.
my, oh, okay. Maybe you're right, Steve. I'll check that out while we're speaking to the forecast. Let's take a look at the forecast from the National Weather Service. It's dry weather. It's beautiful weather. We have a little ridge of high pressure. It will stay here until late Tuesday afternoon. And then Tuesday night and Wednesday, another disturbance will drop into the region from the northwest. It's going to bring us cooler temperatures, as you can see. Look at those overnight lows.
I'm going to say.
And a slight chance of precipitation here in the valley floor. Keep a close eye on Friday. Look at Friday. 58 is all we're going to get to. 37 for the overnight low on Friday. And it's going to be a little breezy on Friday as well. So it's going to be a brisk night for high school football on Friday night. So anyway, we're going to have a little system come in. It's going to be pretty nice today. Partly sunny Tuesday. Wednesday is the big cool down. Again, partly sunny on Thursday. These temperatures, for the most part, are below normal, with the exception of today, Steve. Normal temperature about this time of the year is 66. Yesterday, Sunday, we hit 64. The overnight low was 44, just about right about normal.
Perfect weekend, I'll tell you.
It was a beautiful weekend. Too bad I I spent it in bed.
Well,
outside of that. So there's your forecast from the National Weather Service for the rest of this week and into the weekend. 6.5 minutes after the hour on this Monday edition of Wake Up Wenatchee Valley. We are live from Studio 5 in downtown Wenatchee. When we come back, Steve Hare has your weekend full of news on a Monday. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life Channel.
Having a relationship with your pediatrician is so important. Feeling that sense of trust, that is priceless. I tell everybody about CVCH. I love it there. When I make an appointment, I don't have to take an entire day off. As a working mom, my life is really busy. Family time is everything. That's what we all work towards. And I feel like CVCH respects that.
The Arbiter of Stoke is a series that highlights a variety of outdoor adventure sports that are available in the Pacific Northwest. I dedicate my time to enjoying this natural playground. The decision is yours. How will you keep your Stoke?
And now it's time for your local news update with Steve Hare.
and welcome to a Monday. It's the, what, 8th day?
It's the ninth day of October.
Columbus Day, we're celebrating today. And for North Central Washington News, let's lead off with a story out of Grant County, where the Sheriff's Department this morning issuing a missing person alert for a Moses Lake area man who disappeared Saturday. Officials say 61-year-old Charles Chuck Taylor was last seen at 6 a.m. Saturday. He was walking from his home near roads 2 and O northeast, about 4 miles east of Moses Lake, in that general vicinity that you see on our Google map image there. Deputies Sunday searched the area near his home via aircraft, drone, and on foot. Citizens also searched the area on Sunday to no avail. Meanwhile, Taylor left without his phone, his keys, and his wallet. He has no memory issues. Taylor is described as 6'2", 280 pounds. He has brown-gray hair and a beard, brown eyes, and he last was seen wearing a blue sweater. Anyone with information should call the Grant County Sheriff's Department. That phone number is 762-1160, or you can email crime tips at grantcountywa.gov. Tipsters, of course, can always remain anonymous. Also this morning, state fire assistance was mobilized over the weekend in support of local firefighters working to contain the Teanaway River fire that was located 4 miles north of Cleellum in Kittitas County. Fire started Friday afternoon. It swelled to over 350 acres before crews gained the upper hand. The fire, burning in mostly grass and trees, reportedly threatened about 40 homes. But level 3 evacuations were removed late Saturday and roads have been reopened. The fire's cause is still under investigation. Meanwhile, Resilient Forest Act, you learn more about it. The 2017 wildfire season has again sparked a national discussion on the causes of catastrophic wildfires and the solutions that are needed to protect forests, property, and lives in the future. The video we're seeing right now provided to us by State DNR, and what you're looking at here are some nighttime images of the Jolly Mountain fire. Legislation right now making its way through Congress that supporters say will help restore overgrown and fire-prone forests while creating new jobs at the same time. That the U.S. Forest Service and the Bureau of Land Management tools and resources to better manage public lands. 4th District Congressman Dan Newhouse commented on the bill at a news conference last week.
We've heard a lot of numbers. 8 million acres, over 8 million acres have burned this year. Over 80 million acres are ready to go up in smoke at any time. In my own Central Washington district, we have had record-setting fires. The Carlton Complex of 2014 was the largest wildfire we ever had in the state of Washington. It was outdone in 2015 by the Okanagan fire, during which, unfortunately, we lost 3 firefighters. Now, besides the statistics, let me just tell you that this is an ongoing thing. This is happening right now. This is real. This is impacting communities throughout not only my district, but throughout the West. We've lost property. We've lost livestock. We've lost precious timber resources. And like I said, we have lost human lives because.
And again, that's Congressman Dan Newhouse at a Thursday news conference last week. The U.S. Forest Service estimates that at least 58 million acres of national forest are at high or very high risk of catastrophic wildfires. Forest Service has also identified over 1.1 million acres of forest land in need of reforestation. The legislation has already been approved by the House Natural Resources Committee. Could soon receive a vote on the floor of the House of Representatives. Some Washington state employees could be laid off if the legislature fails to adopt a capital construction budget for next year. The spending plan remains in limbo following the regular legislative session and 2 special sessions. It's stalled because the Republican-controlled Senate refuses to act until there's resolution to the Supreme Court's Hearst ruling. 12th District House Representative Carrie Kadada acknowledges the looming layoffs, but said on Friday's Wake Up Wenatchee Valley program that not addressing the Hearst water issues could have a greater impact on the state's economy.
There is going to be a few. It's not a big number, but we don't want to see anybody lose their job. But the fact is the capital budget represents about $4 billion in spending. Hearst could be a $10 billion problem for the state of Washington. So when somebody says we're holding up the economy by not doing the capital budget, we're holding up a lot more of the economy with Hearst. And the fact is that the Hearst situation, if it isn't rectified, will also kind of collapse the school program we put together. The education program is based on property tax. That property tax shift that changes when there's no water is going to collapse the outer districts and reduce the tax base for our smaller school districts. So it's all tied together. It's a big picture. We've got to solve it, and that has to be done in this session. We'll get that capital budget out, but we've got to get Hearst solved first.
And again, Carrie Kadada hosting a brand new program here on your NCW Live channel, the 12th District. Check your local listings for dates and times. I believe he starts tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock.
Okay.
So be watching for that. Hey, big weekend, a lot of events in the Wenatchee Valley, including Wings and Wheels with a lot of custom-built cars at the park in East Wenatchee, and other activities including the flying of Miss Vidal up at Pangbourne Airport. All in all, it was a great weekend. The 5th annual Downtown Hoedown took to the streets of Wenatchee Sunday, filling the Ave with an array of activities for the family. This year, Grace City Church also put on a school drive to help kids from around the region. Jay Seebeck has the story.
We're down here at the Downtown Hoedown. I'm here with Grace City Church Pastor Josh McPherson. Josh, tell me a little bit about, right behind us we have a little bit of a charity getting together for local elementary schools. So tell me a little bit about what the goal was behind that, and then using that as part of your big party down here, kickoff fall in a way for Wenatchee.
Totally. So we love to party as a church. We thought, why don't we party with a purpose, get a bunch of folks together, have a great time in the downtown, and do something that can impact our whole city. And so we started out hoping to impact just, like local kids in elementary schools, and then we got kind of ambitious and ended up hitting 19 different elementary schools in Leavenworth, Dryden, Cashmere, Wenatchee, Eniat, Chelan, Waterville, Orondo, Wenatchee, East Wenatchee, Quincy, and George. And so all of the elementary schools in those areas, we went and said, hey, we're going to throw a party. Lots of folks will be there. Could we bring anything that would help? And they gave us just a huge list of essential needs for the kids that the kids come to school not having, so they can't focus on school because they don't have clothes or hygiene-ish things or school supplies or toys, whatever. And so they gave us this massive list, and we thought, well, we can't fill this on our own, so we thought, well, let's give it to the community. So we're inviting them out to the party and saying, hey, come down, have a good time, and help us knock this list out, with the goal of trying to give all the teachers, the elementary schools, all the resources they need to care for these kids in their care. So that was the goal, and so far, it's going pretty good so far. We're excited. We're just grateful for a community that loves community. I mean, we put the ask out, and it's not, you don't have to twist arms. You don't have to beg, borrow, steal. You put the ask out, and people respond, and I think that's a reflective of a community who loves people. They understand that we're going to all be better when we all give, and that we're at our best when we're serving other people. And so for us as Gray City, it's just a fun part to be a small part of that and kind of be able to kind of coordinate a little bit of that. So we just love our city and we're grateful for it.
A lot of fun there in downtown Wenatchee for the hoedown put on by Gray City Church. Meanwhile, Senator Brad Hawkins led constituents up to the top of Saddle Rock Trail Saturday morning, culminating a 12th Legislative District listening tour. Governor Jay Inslee was a no-show, having canceled his flight to Wenatchee due to some windy conditions. But those who participated enjoyed the opportunity to mix nature with politics. And here with that story, NCW Life's, Megan joining us this morning.
I'm Brad Hawkins, I'm your state senator. I want to really thank you all for coming out. I really appreciate this. I thought of this idea. It would be really fun to have a community hike, kind of put politics aside, get us outdoors, get our blood flowing, enjoy this awesome, iconic landmark.
So this caps the listening tour. This is the final stop. We've had 2 full days all throughout the 12th district. There are 4 counties in our legislative district: Chelan County, Douglas County, part of Grant, and about half of Okanagan. So we had the chance to go from corner to corner, and we heard a lot of important feedback about issues that are important to our area. And then I thought it would be neat to finish the listening tour at this iconic Wenatchee Valley location, to give everyone a chance to do a community hike. I've been talking with people along the way and look forward to having some more conversations up here.
So tell me about the new trailhead.
Well, I am very excited about the Saddle Rock Gateway. Just a short time ago, what we had down there was a small gravel parking lot and 1 outhouse. And now, because of the work of a diverse group of stakeholders, the City of Wenatchee, the Wenatchee School District, the Chelan Douglas Land Trust, and others, along with the State of Washington Recreation and Conservation Office, came together to fund that new trailhead. In some ways, that new trailhead is really symbolic of what we can do by bringing people with, diverse thoughts together to work collaboratively on something that could be to our community's mutual benefit. And so, as a state senator, I try to think of how are the ways that I can bring diverse groups together, work collaboratively, work across party lines, and achieve good things for our community and our state.
The listening tour is terrific. My wife and I got 10 dedicated minutes with Brad and enjoyed that very much because we've known him for many years. That was great, and the hike is great fun. Always like to come up here.
Really appreciated Brad meeting with the Land Trust group that I was with for about 20 minutes. And we discussed the need for money for the remediation so we can finish our trail work up here. We have the money for the trail work, and for the help with the RCO and the WWRP money that we're able to get to do the trailhead and to improve the foothills for everybody to share.
I think it's a great hike. I just met Brad, but I'm glad that we're out here doing this together as a community and kind of just putting politics aside.
Oh, it was a great event. It was a lot of fun. Get to talk to Senator Hawkins, meet Blake from Governor Jay Inslee's office, and showcase a little bit of Wenatchee. The parking area is great, the views from the top of Saddle Rock, and just get out in the community. A lot of fun.
So, what are you guys' names?
Tyler Hawkins and Luke Hawkins.
And what'd you guys think of this hike?
I think it's tiring, really awesome, naturey, that's what I think. I think it was fun. It was a lot of work. There are some fixings, and it's really cool. They fixed up this place. Maybe sometime you should try this hike. It's really fun. I'll go 4.5 stars.
4.5, okay.
5.
Megan McPherson, thank you very much for a great report. Looks like it was a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sounds like a lot of fun. Hey, by the way, we want to close out our newscast this morning with something new. I'd like to share maybe something with you every day in this vein. It's a recent drone video that our engineer took over the weekend up in the Lake Chelan area, and just some beautiful shot here of the valley.
Nicely
Chelan.
done, Brandon. That's
Look
spectacular
at look at
stuff.
all the vineyards too, and it's about that time of the year where the harvest is going on, and people are pressing the grapes and making the wine. But I just thought we'd close out with this beautiful drone footage of Lake Chelan.
That
was
is
taken
gorgeous.
Saturday. Isn't that beautiful?
That is nicely done, Brandon.
Yeah, did a great job. Great
You
job.
owe him an apology. He's going to work
Yeah.
out just fine.
Oh, absolutely. Just joking, Brandon. Just joking. But hey, we live in a beautiful place, and
Yes,
so
we do.
what better way to end a newscast with some good news, right?
And if you want to avoid the touristy part of Lake Chelan, this is the time to do it.
Absolutely.
Yeah, this is the time to do it. So
Anyway, keep it tuned to NCW Live channel.
we got
Throughout the
news.
day. We've got news coming up at 5 o'clock. We're at Grant Olson, and of course, we have more on our website at ncwlife.com. And if you see news happening, give us a call at 888-2020.
It is 21 minutes after the hour. We got sports to get to. Today in history, the obscure holiday, birthdays. Everyone is entitled to Mike Minotti's opinion. And in the second half of the program, Dave Peterson from the Wenatchee office of Skill Source will be in our studio. You're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live from Studio 9. We'll be right back.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is State Representative Kerry Condata inviting you to check out our newest show on the NCW Life channel. We call it the 12th District. Each week, we'll be taking an in-depth look at various political issues that affect our area, our state, and the world. We'll be featuring local and statewide experts on the subject matter at hand. Please join us weekly for the 12th District with yours truly, Kerry Condata. Check your channel guide for times or go to ncwlife.com for details.
Join us for Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel. This former police sergeant is plugged into not only the world of the streets, he's an actor and connoisseur of the arts. So join Mike and his guest for, well, Street Talk and Other Stuff. Mondays at 10 a.m., Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2 p.m., and Wednesdays at 5:30. It's Street Talk and Other Stuff with Mike Magnotti on the NCW Life channel.
Twenty-three minutes after the hour, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley live here from Studio 4 in downtown Wenatchee. Sports. First of all, the Les Schwab prep scoreboard from Friday. Wenatchee knocks off Eisenhower in a defensive battle 21-14. Eastmont, no problems of Sandpoint. Cameron Scarmazino combining for 192 yards rushing and receiving. He had 3 TDs. Nicely done, Eastmont. Cascade crushing Cleellum, as you can see there. Okanagan victorious. Cashmere back on the winning track. Maverick-Cooley Heartline has no problems with Annie. Adam Manson, undefeated Manson, 6-0, knocked off Waterville Mansfield. So that was Friday, the Les Schwab prep scoreboard from Saturday. In soccer, as you can see, Chelan was unable to score a single goal against Keona Benton. In volleyball, Waterville Mansfield over Oroville Cashmere knocked off Wapato. Lake City, Idaho, the number 4 ranked team in the state of Idaho was at Eastmont Saturday afternoon to take on the Wildcats. Eric Granstrom had the call here on the NCW Live channel.
And we are underway here at Eastmont High School. Stanaway off to Volschel, a little deep on that, but Lake City decides they're going to get it over. Now a little touch at the nets, and that was by Ashley Kaufman. Here's a kill attempt at the nets by Sackman. Kaufman again. Nice job by Volschel getting down after that one. Set it up for a nice play across the net. Quite a volley here for the first one, and a beautiful job finding a hole in the pond there. Volschel on the service. Back line it goes. Tough return. Mitchell back corner. Show go, and a point for Lake City, and it will be the Timberwolves taking the first set here, 25-19. Set. Volschel up front, Stanaway. Sackman with a rifle shot. Lake City with the set. Volschel back line. Stanaway over her head. Sackman gets it over, falling down. Lake City keeps it alive. Block at the net. Service is in. Reyes on the return. Now, beautiful, beautiful play. Nice soft serve there. Near side. Then the kill attempt. And Boschel backing up. Just keeps it alive. Now, whoa, beautiful save there. And the kill again. And that's going to do it, Dave.
A good, consistent team. And we knew that. We kind of talked about it as we warmed up, that we had to come in with an intent and a focus that we knew we'd have to work hard. So I'm really proud of the girls. I told them at the end of the game that that's state level.
The Wenatchee Wild had a pretty rough weekend up in British Columbia. 3-day road trip with games Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. They fell to Chilliwack Friday, 5-4, on a goal by the Chiefs in the closing 17 seconds. And then Wenatchee dropped a 4-2 decision at Powell River on Saturday. And that left last night's game at Cowichan Valley as the final chance to pick up some points on the trip. The teams would play to a 3-3 tie at the end of regulation. On to overtime we would go. Arch Ecker has the call on the Wenatchee Wild Network on Hockey TV.
And Scardina able to jam it out to center. Pass back across for Weatherby. He's got Stratton with him. Weatherby shoots. He scores! Jasper Weatherby with the game winner in overtime. He had Murphy Stratton getting his first shift back after the injury on the right side, and Weatherby rips it off the glove of Derry and into the back of the net. The Wild pick up the win. They win it 4-3 in sudden death overtime.
The Wenatchee Wild are back here in the big city. They have their only Wednesday game of the year. That's right, Wednesday night hockey at the Town Toyota Center. The Vernon Vipers will be on town. They drop the puck at 6:30. On the Les Schwab scoreboard, college football on Saturday. Central Washington undefeated. They beat Humboldt State, who was undefeated before they took on the Wildcats. Central Washington is 6-0 on the year. Go get them, Wildcats. Big victory for the Cougars in their first road game of the year. They knocked off the Ducks, Eastern Washington, over UC Davis in a wild game. And of course, the Huskies had no problems with Cal. By the way, the final there was 38-7, not 28-7. On the Les Schwab scoreboard for the NFC West on Sunday, Seattle knocked off the Rams. Russell Wilson throwing for 198 yards and a TD. Earl Thomas forced 2 of 5 turnovers there. And everybody else lost. Good news. Philadelphia knocked off Arizona. Indianapolis defeated San Francisco in overtime. And there are your standings in the NFC West. And finally, my favorite of all, the baseball playoffs. October baseball. Boston stays alive. They knocked off Houston 10-3. The Astros will play Boston today, 10 a.m. First pitch on FS1. Yankees win, stay alive. Greg Berg's solo home run in the 7th keeps the Yankees alive. Cleveland still has a 2-1 lead. They will be at the stadium at 4 o'clock today. In the National League Division Series, both series will get back at it today in Chicago and Phoenix. The Cubs and Nationals are tied at a game apiece. They will play at Wrigley Field today at 1 o'clock. The Diamondbacks face elimination at home tonight. The Dodgers are in town. The Dodgers are up 2-0. October baseball. It doesn't get any better than that. 28 minutes after the hour, the obscure holiday of the day today. It's the second Monday in October, so it is Columbus Day. Columbus Day. For many people, especially on the East Coast and the upper Midwest, Columbus Day is an important day. It's a holiday. It's celebrated. Other places don't quite celebrate Columbus Day. Others have simply changed the name of Columbus Day to Indigenous Peoples Day or Diversity Day or what have you. Columbus Day is sometimes also referred to as Discoverers Day. Just a couple quick notes on Columbus Day. It is a federal holiday. It's called Columbus Day. That means no mail today. Most banks will be closed today. Federal offices will be closed today. States, some will be open, some will be closed. It's kind of hit and miss. But the one thing you'll probably want to know about Columbus Day is that your banks are probably closed and there's no mail delivery on Columbus Day. Columbus Day, lots of, I'm not going to comment on Columbus Day. I'm just telling you what the holiday is, all right? I'll let you make up your own mind. 29 minutes after the hour, let's do Today in History on this October 9th. 316 years ago, October 9th, 1701, the Collegiate School of Connecticut is chartered in Old Saybrook, Connecticut. It would eventually become Yale University, the third oldest college in the United States. 5 U.S. presidents graduated from Yale. 19 United States Supreme Court justices are Yale alumni. 20 living billionaires graduated from Yale. Many, many heads of state. And Handsome Dan. That's Handsome Dan you see on your screen. That's the mascot for Yale. And any mascot that calls itself Handsome Dan is going to get a slot on this show. Happy birthday to Yale University. 98 years ago today, October 9th, 1919, the Cincinnati Reds defeated the Chicago White Sox in the World Series and thus begun the Black Sox scandal. Cincinnati won the series. That's the 1919 world champion Cincinnati Reds. For the White Sox, it was the beginning of the end as people went, they should have, why didn't they play very well? They didn't play very well because it turns out about half the team was throwing this World Series. The Black Sox scandal began in earnest on this date when Cincinnati upset the White Sox. The Dow Jones Industrial Average 10 years ago today closed at an all-time high of 14,164.53. It was the all-time high for the Dow Jones Industrial Average 1 decade ago today on October 9th, 2007. On October 9th, 2008, the Dow Jones Industrials fell below 9,000 for the first time in 5 years. So in 1 year, the Dow Jones went from over 14,000 to less than 9,000. We all remember those days, do we not? 31 minutes after the hour, birthdays for this October 9th. John Lennon, John Ono Lennon, the singer, the songwriter, guitarist, producer, activist. John Lennon was born October 9th, 1940, while there was an air raid going on in Liverpool. Of course, he was assassinated on December 9th, 1980, passed away at the age of 40. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer 2 times over. As a member of the Beatles, of course, in 1987, and as a solo artist in 1994. John Lennon, the man who founded the Beatles, born on this date in 1940, Rock and Roll Hall of Famer. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer John Entwistle, the greatest bass guitarist in rock and roll history, of course, with The Who. John Entwistle was born on this date in 1944, passed away at the very young age of 57 back in 2002. He's in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in the class of 1990 and the best bass guitarist in rock and roll history. Rock and Roll Hall of Famer Jackson Browne celebrates a birthday today. Jackson Browne is 69 years old today, one of the greatest singer-songwriters of the 1970s, with Doctor My Eyes, Running on Empty, These Days, all the great songs that Jackson Browne is associated with. He is 69 years old today. And one non-rock and roller, Tony Shalhoub, the actor, probably best known as Monk. For 8 consecutive years, Monk was on the air for 8 seasons, and for all 8 of those seasons, Tony Shalhoub was nominated for Best Actor in a Comedy, and he won 3 Emmys. Tony Shalhoub, 64 years old today. 32 minutes after the hour. Wow, that was a heck of a first segment, wasn't it? We got to take a break. When we come back, everyone is entitled to Mike McNalty's opinion, and then Dave Peterson from Wenatchee's Skill Source office will be joining me in the second half of the show. Before we get to that, special thanks to our friends at Weinstein Beverage. You've been hearing me talking about this product, Pepsi Zero. It's time to go out and get some. If you haven't got some yet, just do it. It's Pepsi Taste. It's Pepsi Taste, refreshing, what you're used to in Pepsi without the sugar. Regular Pepsi has sugar in it. This is the Pepsi Taste, whoop, no sugar, very little sodium for that matter. It's called Pepsi Zero. It's the Pepsi Taste without the sugar, which is a good thing, and you can get it at grocery stores and convenience stores all over North Central Washington, courtesy of our friends at Weinstein Beverage and our friends at Highgate Senior Living. Winter is coming. There's nothing you can do about it. If you live in a house, that means you're going to have to shovel the sidewalk, you're going to have to clean out the gutters, you're going to have to rake the leaves. Nobody wants to do that anymore. Get rid of all that junk. Move to Highgate Senior Living. They will clean out the gutters, they will rake the leaves, they will shovel the sidewalk, and that frees you up to do whatever you want to do. Independent living at its finest. Highgate Senior Living, each day to the fullest. 33 minutes after the hour, everyone is entitled to Mike McNalty's opinion. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Life channel.
This is Melissa Knott, and I'd like to welcome you to Highgate Senior Living, where our residents become friends and our friends become family. Come enjoy a quiet moment in our beautiful courtyard or join your friends for great conversation. Improve your balance with one of our many gentle exercise classes and enjoy home-cooked meals with friends in our beautiful dining room. Highgate Senior Living, each day to the fullest.
We've been in the cleaning industry for over 10 years, and we notice a need in the housing market for reliable, professional, and specialized cleaning and finishing company.
They come in with spunk and personality, a lot of energy, and they take pride in their business.
We offer a wide array of cleaning solutions, no matter how big or small the job. Anything from new construction to move-in, move-outs, we do it all. Give us a call today to see how we can help you with your cleanup.
Hi, Tom from Alpine Air Heating and Cooling. When you think of Alpine Air in Wenatchee, think of professional, friendly customer service for all your heating and cooling needs. Alpine Air partners with Carrier, manufacturers of some of the best heating and air conditioning equipment available today. Turn to the experts at Carrier and Alpine Air. Visit our store in Wenatchee, meet our people, see our shop. Heat and air, call Alpine Air, 662-6846.
Hey folks, Carrie from Blueberry Hills in Manson. It's blueberry picking season and King 5 named us the second best destination restaurant in Washington State. So toss the family in the cruiser and get on out to Blueberry Hills for the best down-home scratch country cooking you've had in years. And don't forget our award-winning pies. We're fun, family-friendly, and a delicious destination year-round. We're open every day from 8 to 3, serving breakfast and lunch all day. So come on out to Blueberry Hills.
Hey, this is Justin at Club Crow Bar and Grill reminding you it's your place for famous blues, brews, and barbecue. We are your one-stop bar and grill, serving breakfast, lunch, and dinner 7 days a week. Jam sessions and live bands playing a wide range of music. If pool tables or pull tabs are more your thing, we have you covered. Enjoy the fun and food at Club Crow Bar and Grill in Cashmere. Stop on by today.
This is the NCW Life Community Calendar brought to you by First Choice Collision Center. The Oktoberfest 10-mile and 5-mile trail runs plus a kids race happens Saturday, October 14. This event is held on Wenatchee National Forest lands near Leavenworth, with the start and finish occurring at the community's historic ski hill facility. Registration is open until October 13. For more information and other community events, visit ncwlife.com.
Hey, this is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and everybody's entitled to my opinion. You know, I just read a friend's Facebook post asking if Cliff Notes were still a thing, because he mentioned them to a younger person who didn't know what the person was talking about. Now, this made me think about how much other stuff I have mentioned to millennials that, to their loss, they've never heard of. For example, Sophia Loren. Oh, God. Aesop's Fables, the Leaning Tower of Pizza, believe it or not, Michelangelo's statue, the Moses, David, and others. Farrah Fawcett, Film Noir, and of course, the two best car chase movies ever made, Bullet and The French Connection. Now, reminds me of when my kids were younger and when I wanted to share a classic movie with them and they'd moan, "Oh no, Dad, this is black and white, we don't want to watch this." It's painful thinking about all the stuff that our younger generation has missed out on. It's painful. Kids these days. This is Mike Mad Dog Magnati, and that's my opinion.
At D.A. Davidson in Wenatchee, we provide financial services for independent-minded clients working to secure their future. Whether it's helping to construct your personal financial, retirement, or estate plan, we start with a disciplined approach and straightforward advice. Our look-you-in-the-eye attentiveness that our clients demand and get is rooted in values that are as human as a handshake. D.A. Davidson's straightforward approach is the way we've done it for 80 years.
Hi, I'm Lonnie Boucher, attorney and owner of EstateEdge.com. If you found yourself incapacitated, do you have a durable power of attorney for financial and healthcare needs? A durable power of attorney allows you to nominate a person, an agent, to act for you and make decisions if you are unable to do so yourself. EstateEdge.com is your online resource to obtain these and other estate planning documents. For your protection and peace of mind, go to EstateEdge.com today.
Who had the reception, and now he collects the touchdown. Got on goal, Wenatchee scores. Wigan lines up the three. Yes! Oh my goodness!
Figure out where the line is, where they'll cover from.
West fighting on the bottom, and he got the pin. Swung on and hit hard to left field. Caught out there in left field. Get the shot. Yes! And Wenatchee Valley wins it. On the NCW Life Channel, your local TV station.
If you are looking for dependable car service and repair, visit the good guys at Quick Lube and Tune. They've been keeping cars and trucks in the Wenatchee Valley running smooth for 35 years. Quick Lube and Tune is your hometown shop for a 10-minute oil change, complete tune-ups, alignments, brakes, mufflers, air conditioning service, and more. Get more life out of your vehicle by bringing it to the local guys you can trust at Quick Lube and Tune on South Wenatchee Avenue.
And we are back on Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on this Monday, the 9th day of October. I am Dan Kuntz. My guest is Dave Peterson from the Wenatchee office of SkillSource. Dave, what's your official title?
Executive Director.
Oh, wow, that must look good on a business card.
Barely fitted on.
How long have you been associated with SkillSource?
Well, the agency was created in 1984, and I was hired on as its first Executive Director. And so I'm in my 33rd year.
Wow. Nearing retirement?
Sooner than later, yes. yes.
For those who don't know, for the uninitiated, SkillSource 101, what exactly is SkillSource?
Well, as I mentioned, it's a nonprofit agency organized in 1984 to implement a new federal policy that was passed under the Reagan administration to put policy making and oversight of federally funded job training into a local partnership between the public and private sector. So the local elected officials, in our case is county commissioners, our chief elected official is Keith Gaynor, and they appoint our board of directors, which is 25 business and community members from throughout our territory, which ranges from Othello on the south to Oroville on the north. And we're headquartered here in Wenatchee. That's why I'm located here.
So when the board of directors gets together with the executive director in a room, what are they just telling you what to do, Dave? Or
well, they leave day-to-day management to
Right.
me. One great benefit of having a board of executives is they understand the role of a board making policy and delegating day-to-day operations to the management. So that's been a great relationship. I asked them for guidance on what are going to be our priorities when we set the budget each year, and then as we come back and report on a quarterly basis our accomplishments.
SkillSource is a success story, or it wouldn't be going as good as it has been for the last 34 years now. Are we educating the workforce? How are we doing? How are we?
Well, it's a never-ending job. The workplace is not what it used to be. When I started in this work, a production employee needed to know very little reading or writing or mathematics. It was more of a strong back and willing hands. We still want the willing mind now, but we need the ability to read for information, locate information, apply math, and as well as the what we saw in Jay's report last week, the soft skills that business wants. So that's an ongoing challenge, even as workers, as jobs change, people are laid off, they come in for retraining, brush up on this or learn that. Many people in my generation, the boomers, are not as computer literate as the millennials or the Gen Ys, and so we spend a fair amount of time on computing fundamentals, living online, using the internet. That's how business recruits nowadays. That's how most companies accept applications is online. So a fair amount of time teaching workers those skills.
When I was younger, we took something through the school district. I want to say it was a career aptitude test, something along those lines. I remember specifically taking a couple of those. Is this essentially kind of the same thing? I need to know what my skills are, my marketable skills are.
If you come to our ACE workshop, and over 1,000 people a year do, you will take Career Scope, which will assess your interests and your aptitudes, and you'll get a little picture of what your current profile is. If you were to apply to enter the military, you'd take the ASVAB, which is the Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, and that would guide you into which military occupational specialty.
There you go. What are folks seeing on the screen, Dave?
Well, this is a job task analysis. We facilitate workplace learning with 100 businesses a year, and what our goal is, we ask the company to, after identifying all the tasks, we ask the company to benchmark the level of proficiency they want their new hire to eventually reach. We ask the new hire to do a self-assessment. The difference between those two ratings or scorings is represented in green or red. If you are green, it means you're entering the job with the ability to perform that task to the employer's expectation. If it's red, you're not there. So what we tell businesses is our objective for you is to get the red out, for you and your employee, get the red out.
So when companies come to you, they say, this is the job opening that we have. Are you putting that person into that job? Or at what point does SkillSource walk away and the company that's hiring step in? Where's that? Where do they come together at?
Well, nowadays companies recruit all manner of ways. Online, still through word of mouth. Also, they will reach out to us. They will reach out to one of our partners, particularly Employment Security. And once they've selected a new hire, then we'll step in and facilitate the on-the-job training. Everyone hired into a new position needs to be trained, no matter how much or how little experience they bring with them. Every workplace is a little different, every company's a little different, and it's important to have a structured, meaningful, intentional approach to training that new hire so they learn the job the way you want them to perform it.
What's the difference between SkillSource and WorkSource?
WorkSource is the name of our one-stop partnership. It's an umbrella name over with Employment Security, the community colleges, and other state and local agencies, and SkillSource is a partner in that WorkSource umbrella. And Employment Security is the major partner in that partnership.
Science, technology, energy, math, STEM, it's everywhere in the world of education. Last week a report came out that said we need more STEM workers, but STEM is new too in many respects, right?
Well, I think it came on the scene about 5 years ago where the demographers were seeing that young people were not pursuing those careers or those majors. They were not preparing for them at the secondary level or earlier. And so it's been a push to emphasize the importance of mathematics, of science, of technology, and engineering. And so it reaches down further into the secondary curriculum. No question that more of our future jobs will require those skills and abilities.
Should everybody, regardless of where they are in their career or their profession, should take this just to see? Maybe you have hidden talents that you didn't know. At what point is it too late to take one of these things because you're already set in your ways?
Well, every time you start a new job, you'll be taking one of these things.
Sure.
The Career Scope exam, or assessment as we prefer to call it, it's not really a test, but it's a snapshot of where your skills and abilities are, your interests, your talents are at any particular moment in time. And so yes, it's a 1-week workshop. It's open to the general public. We welcome one, we welcome all, and nobody, I've only aware of one person in my 30 years who's quit the workshop early and said, "Phooey, this isn't for me." It is revealing, and people discover they know more than they thought, or conversely, less than they thought. And so it presents a good baseline to move forward and make new career plans if you're looking to go in a new direction, or where you need to brush up and skill up in order to stay up with your current occupation.
It's perfect if you graduated from high school, or maybe you're taking just a little bit of community college just to keep yourself in the flow of things. If you're 20 years old and you really don't know what you want to do with your life, this is a great outlet for you, isn't it?
We want you.
Yeah.
Yeah, we absolutely want you, whether you've finished high school or not, if you're unsure where to go, what direction to head, the Action for Career Employment Workshop is a great place to start.
We talked about this earlier before we started our interview. The one basic skill that almost every new hire as they leave their education and enter the workforce, almost everybody has to have basic computer skills, or you're going to be lost from the get-go, aren't you?
I'm still working to get mine up to speed. Yeah, the millennials definitely have it on us in that regard. But yes, we have a workshop to teach computing fundamentals, living online, and it's the way of the world nowadays. And we find the older workers like myself are the ones that need to brush up the most or learn the most.
You brought a video with you, so what we're going to do is we're going to take a little quick break. Again, we're talking to Dave Peterson, the Executive Director of SkillSource here in Wenatchee. When we come back, we'll show a cute little video, and we'll talk about some other neat things about SkillSource. They're a great resource out there, ladies and gentlemen. More with Dave Peterson. When we come back, you're watching Wake Up Wenatchee Valley on the NCW Live channel.
Hi, I'm Eric Grandstrom, host of Let's Learn here on the NCW Live channel, a program where we learn about different topics. And on this particular series, it's death and die. It's a conversation that no one wants to have, but we're going to have it right here on the NCW Live channel. So you're dead. Now what? We're going to learn all about the choices you have and the decisions you need to make. It's Let's Learn on the NCW Live channel.
At Local Myth Pizza, we believe in real food, freshly prepared with only premium ingredients. Our cheeses are imported from Italy. Our sauces, dressings, and even our sausages are made in-house fresh daily. Featuring Northwest craft beers and 30 Chelan Valley wines and ciders. Family fun and amazing food. Eat local, drink local, and be local at Local Myth Pizza.
Come see why Sunset Magazine says you can't beat Local Myth Pizza.
Welcome to NCW Life News. I'm Grant Olson.
Of the NCW Life Legislative Hotline, I'm Steve Hare.
I'm Eric Grandstrom with NCW Life Sports.
And now, your weather forecast for north central Washington.
We're here at the downtown fire station right now.
Dry and warm weather pattern for Friday.
Considering that we're supposed to be 103 degrees today, how do you keep these guys cool?
And this just in, traffic is slowed in the Orondo area as firefighters attack a brush fire.
Right here on NCW Life News.
It's a spectacular good time all month long in Cashmere. Scarecrows will be waiting for you throughout the town. Silly ones, spooky ones, and everything in between. Yes, it's Scare Crazy in Cashmere. Bring the family and find the scarecrows all around Cashmere. And be sure to stop by these fine sponsors. The Antique Mall at Cashmere. Come find your treasure. And Club Crow Bar and Grill, home of the blues, brews, and barbecue.
52 minutes after the hour, we are live from Studio 3 here in downtown Wenatchee. Dan Kuntz, Wake Up Wenatchee Valley, alongside with Dave Peterson. You brought a cool little 30-second video with you. What are folks going to see?
Well, this is just a quick overview of some of the services we provide. This was shot in our, I believe, our Moses Lake facility. And it just explains some of the training and education that we either provide or facilitate. We're not only a provider of pre-vocational training, if you will, but we facilitate occupational training both on the job and in community college.
Here's the video. Dave, use the monitor here in the studio. For you folks at home, please use your TVs. Here it is.
SkillSource specializes in assessing and guiding youth, adults, and laid-off workers who want to improve their skills. Here you can attend in-depth workshops to assess skills and interests, make career plans, and learn computer basics.
Learning centers provide eligible youth and adults individualized computer-assisted basic education. Vocational training is arranged with approved providers like community colleges or on the job with businesses.
Don't wait any longer. Let's get working on the future you've been dreaming about.
Good stuff, Dave. Oops, we've gone dark. There we are. What's the relationship between SkillSource and the area community colleges and the area high schools? You guys kind of all in this together?
Well, we have a very close relationship, particularly with the Wenatchee School District, the Moses Lake School District, Othello, and Okanagan, where they channel secondary education funds to us to retrieve dropouts and students who have not completed their high school diploma. With the community colleges, we facilitate relationships between workers and post-secondary education. So we had a number of, for example, of Alcoans, gosh, it was probably over 100, who we help channel into those post-secondary programs. In some cases, they beelined it straight for campus. They knew what they wanted to study. They might have been in the middle of a program when they went to work at the smelter, and when they were laid off, they wanted to finish and just resume and complete. Others, it was a matter of a few months of research and discovery before they determined what they wanted to pursue. And then in the case of those laid off workers, we had extra federal grants to support their education.
What is if you could address, say, the average 16-year-old out there who says, I really don't know what I want to do, but I want to make a decent living and stay here in the Wenatchee Valley, what should they be doing now as a 16-year-old? Where are the jobs going to be 10 years from now?
Well, they definitely want to finish high school and be on the honor roll. The best, even in the 60s, when I was growing up, the 70s, to get a good job, get a good education. And that was true then, it's true today. It's probably more so today. But some of the best paying work is in healthcare. Some of the best paying work is right here at companies like Localtel. But you need to finish that high school education and finish it well. And in many cases, probably in most cases here, get at least a couple of years of post-secondary education, whether it's technical training or a general degree in engineering or math.
I am 35 years removed from my formal education. I've been on record any number of times with principals and superintendents. I believe the kids of today are getting a better education than we ever got. Do you agree with that?
I do. Absolutely. I had the ability when I was in high school, which was 10 years before you, pretty much skating. It was pretty easy to dodge. I imagined myself going to Washington State University, but I did not imagine myself taking all the college prep curriculum that was available at the time. I guess I was a typical teenager, but I did manage to graduate from Pullman.
Congratulations. Go Cougs.
Yes.
Go Cougs.
Yes.
Yeah. So if you take one of these tests, we're going to finish up where we began. You take one of these tests and you find out, okay, I'm not real good in this particular skill set. Can you improve that skill set via SkillSource?
Yeah, absolutely. Some aptitudes we sort of have an inborn ability to excel at them, some we don't. But with increased effort, you can compensate for any lower natural ability.
How do people get to know SkillSource from, I mean, does your high school counselor say, okay, you've decided you don't want to go to community college, you want to enter the workforce as soon as you can, go to SkillSource and see what you can do?
Well, that's certainly reasonable, but we see more and more nowadays in secondary education, more attention paid to the non-college bound student. We see far more guidance for those students. And I think the best advice I can give any young person is whether they plan to go to university or not, the tipping point for making that middle class standard of living is the solid high school completion plus 1 year of post-secondary training, wherever it might be, whether it's broadcasting school, which has certainly served you well, or a year of welding, whatever your technical trade may be. We're seeing the schools, I think, give more play to all of those career options nowadays.
We got about a minute left, Dave. Final question. I'm 18, I just graduated from high school, I don't want to go to college. How much does SkillSource cost? I don't have any money. I want to go down there and see what I can do.
Well, the workshop is free. And we have another workshop called Financial Resources, which will teach you all about federal financial aid, scholarships from the state and federal and even private foundations to put together a package to get you through that next step.
Dave Peterson from SkillSource here in Wenatchee. Just go to our website, skillsource.org, skillsource.org. And it's down the road you go. Dave, thanks for coming down. I learned a lot today.
You're welcome, Dan. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
Everybody have a great Monday. Enjoy this Columbus Day. We'll see you tomorrow. Take care.